Hi everyone, I am Hillary Mulick of Hillary Mulick Photography, and today I'm going to be talking about my secret to a consistent editing style. This is Boris, my dog. So for the first 5 or 6 years of my photography business, I was really struggling with having a consistent editing style. I felt like my work didn't really look cohesive from one session to the next, or even from one image to the next. Looking at just a session or a wedding day as a whole, there would be a section of images that looked a little warm, looked a little green, looked a little cool, looked a little pink, and I wouldn't really realize it until after I'd exported from Lightroom, uploaded all of the wedding images to a gallery, and I would do a quick look through all of them together, and I just felt like there were parts of the day where it just didn't really look like it belonged with the rest, and I was really struggling with having all of my images match and look really consistent and cohesive together. So about a year or two ago, I discovered my secret to having a consistent editing style, and I'm going to share that with you today, and that is a reference window. So if you don't know what a reference window is, it's a feature in Lightroom where you can look at two images side by side and be able to edit one image to make it look like another. And I do this a lot with film, and I really started using reference window a lot when I started shooting film, but even if you're a digital photographer, you can really utilize this a lot. So what I do is I pull an image up that I just feel like really looks like my style and that I would like the rest of the session or the rest of the wedding day to really look like. And all of my images after that, I pull up next to this image, so by using a reference window, and I edit them to look like that image, so that by the time I'm done editing the whole session or the whole wedding, everything looks a lot more cohesive. And so today I'm going to show you a tutorial in Lightroom on how I use the reference window feature and how that has just really upped my game in getting a more consistent and cohesive style, so that when I look back at the whole session or the whole wedding, or even comparing sessions from a year or two ago to my work now, it just all looks very cohesive and really just looks like my style. So I'm going to show you that here today. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom. This is in the develop part of Lightroom. If I hold down Shift and click R, it brings up the reference window. So you see at the top here, this says reference and this says active. So whatever is in the reference window is not being edited. It's just simply a reference as you're editing in the active window. So I have a few examples here that I'm going to show you. This first example is of a digital image that I have already edited. This is actually a JPEG from a recent family session that I shot. So I just dragged that up and dropped it here in the reference window. Now, in the active window, this is a raw image that has not been edited yet. It was shot in the same situation, so the lighting is very similar. So I'm going to use this reference window while I edit this raw image. So I'm just going to go ahead here. Look at the before, that's the after. And I was using that as I was editing to the reference window. So another thing that I really like about the reference window is it's a little bit easier to match images that were shot in the same scenario, but I want my entire session to look very cohesive. And usually within a session, I'm moving to multiple locations and the lighting is different. But even though the lighting is different, I still want all the images to look cohesive together. So I'm going to bring up an image that was shot not in the shade of the tree, but in the sun. And I'm going to edit this image to look like my reference window image. As you can see, the before of this, it was shot in a very sunny area. The sun is directly behind them. It's obviously a lot warmer of an image than when they were just chilling in the shade here. And I was able to use my reference window to edit it so that it looked very similar to this image right here. And that is the beauty of the reference window, is you can keep just your most ideal image up in this reference window while you're editing the entire session. And then in the end, everything just looks really good together. Thank you so much for watching my video on how I use my reference window and how I've really been able to keep a consistent and cohesive editing style for the last few years in my work. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have new videos that come out every single Monday. And if you'd like to get on my email list and get free photography and business content weekly, make sure to click the link in my description and you will also receive a free video on how I organize all of my client photos on my computer. So until next week, thank you for watching.